guys, welcome back. It's Shelby, and today I want to make a plastic sun catcher in a cool shape. I was thinking star because I love stars, they're my favorite shape. So instead of beads, I will be using plastic vase fillers just because I have some blue ones that I think are a really beautiful color. This is actually kind of a variation on a project that I did a couple of years ago now, actually, before I started YouTube, and that was to make lampshades for the lamps in my room, and maybe I will do another video on those, on how to make those, but yeah, I'll like insert a little picture or something like right here. If you're interested in seeing what those turned out as, but yeah, I was going through some of my craft things and I found my plastic vase fillers and I was like, oh my god, I remember these. I haven't touched them in years, but they're actually really easy to craft with and work with because you can just melt them down really easily and shape them however you want. So today I'm making a star-shaped sun catcher, and I guess I will link what you need down in the description along with my socials. As always, the video will show you how to do it, and yeah, let's go. So you're going to need to cook these at 400 degrees, so go ahead and preheat your oven before you start. Also, turn on some fans because these are going to reek up your kitchen like burning plastic. So your hood fan, your fan in general, open the windows, open the doors, whatever you got, go ahead and open that up right now while you're starting. So here's everything you're gonna need. A pan, it'll pop out pretty well when it's done, you just want it flat. I'm gonna do mine in a shape, so a star cookie cutter. And what you're filling your cookie cutter with. You can also do like muffin pans if you want it to be circular, or like shaped silicone pans, but for what I'm doing this will be just fine. I'm also using plastic vase fillers instead of plastic beads. They work exactly the same way, but I love the color of these, so I chose these, and they have a cool shape too, so I'm actually hoping to not melt them entirely and keep a little bit of that bumpy texture on one side, but we will see how that works out. While your oven is preheating, go ahead and open up your beads or vase fillers. And just pop a couple in. So for beads, you only want like a single layer. For these, because they don't quite fit, it's also a single layer, but some of them are a little bit up there. But yeah, just kind of fit in as best as possible. They will melt down pretty flat, but I'm hoping to keep a little bit of that texture, as I said. And then basically do as many of these as you want. I'm just doing one for the sake of instructions. And pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for roughly 20 minutes. It is going to smell like burning plastic, so open up your windows, turn on your vents, turn on your fans, everything you got, because this is not an unnoticeable craft. So my oven is preheated and I'm popping my soon-to-be sun catcher in there. Going to set the timer for 20 minutes. You can check on it and it might need a little bit more or a little bit less depending. Don't forget to turn your fan on. And there we go, magic of time lapse. But yeah, notice that the vase fillers have sunk down the sides. They're flat on the bottom, they're totally melted. They're not kind of clinging up there. And since it's a sun catcher, I want a little hole in it, so I'm going to take a toothpick and just wiggle it through. It's a really thick, like gelatin texture. So once you get the hole in there, you don't really have to worry about it closing up too much. And then set it aside to let it cool. Once it is completely cool, you'll know because you'll be able to touch it and won't feel warm. You can take it out of the mold and out of the pan. So I just remove the cookie cutter, and then I'm just going to flip the pan over and kind of press on the back to loosen the plastic up a little bit. If you use a silicone pan, this is actually easier. It also does not stick to foil, so you can do foil as well to make it a little bit easier, but otherwise just pop it right off like that. You can kind of see what we're left working with. The back's a little cloudy, but I'll show you how to take care of that in a moment. So I'm just moving the camera angle a little bit to a white surface so you can see what we're left with. It retained that beautiful blue color. The back's a little foggy, as I said, But see these sharp edges? That's because the vase filler was pressed up against the cookie cutter and didn't fit initially, so it kind of slid down as it melted, and some of the plastic did not slide all the way, so you're left with a little bit of the sharp peaks, but you can take care of that with a little bit of abrasive sandpaper. I'm doing the 80 grit. You can just rub off the worst of the spikes, for lack of a better term. Don't go all the way down till you're actually completely flattening them and scratching and scarring the shiny side of the star. We just want to kind of smooth them out a little bit, maybe make them flatter, but not necessarily super duper flat. Also, the edges of my star that seeped out from under the cookie cutter are pretty sharp, so that's something that I want to take care of as well. And we can do that just by popping it back in the oven for a shorter amount of time. I'm thinking 5 minutes just to start with, but that's going to remelt the plastic a little bit, soften the edges, and get rid of the ground down spikes. So just pop your star or whatever shape you chose to use on a bit of foil, put the foggy side up. The other side's going to be protected from touching the foil by those little mounds that we tried to shave off. But foggy side up because you want that side to melt. Pop it back in your oven, still 400 degrees for roughly 5 minutes. Check on it. It should look like this. See how it's looking kind of clear. The bubbles remain, the shape remained, it's not oozing out. It's not like completely melty or anything. It's just kind of soft. So at this point, I'm taking my toothpick and just going back through the hole. It did stay a hole, but it kind of closed a little bit because the plastic got a little bit soft. So just go ahead and kind of repunch your hole. Like I said, it's still basically there, but it's definitely going to help just make sure that the opening stays open. So at this point, the star is soft and warm, but not dripping or anything. It's basically formed. So this is it against a different backdrop. I'm just going to kind of set it up to get a better view and to let it dry. But yeah, this is basically it. The sides and edges are smooth now. You can see I can run my finger across them. No risk of cutting. The oven kind of melted down the sharp edge a little bit. And then the peaks are still there. If they really bother you, you can cook it for longer and they'll go down. But yeah, the hole remained and it's looking good. All right, guys, so here it is. Here's how it turned out. Isn't that cute? Super pretty. I love this color, like it's just so pretty. You can see the little bubbles in there. It's basically flat. I didn't get to keep my texture too much. But yeah, no, it's adorable. I love this stuff. And I love this because unlike glass, even if you drop it, it's not going to break and shatter. So it's pretty safe to be around. It's really hard. And you can melt it down, just make it whatever shape you want. So it's really easy to work with. It retains that beautiful color. It's got the bubbles that disperse the light really nicely. And yeah, you saw me poke the hole through. It was pretty easy. I just tied a little string through there. Yeah, could not be easier. Simple project, but these are so fun to make. I'm probably going to be doing, I don't know, some cool other things with melted plastic as far as crafts going forward, because I forgot how much I love this. So I hope you like it too. If you do, go ahead, give the video a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I will see you here again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.